What's up everyone, and welcome back to some Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle, and today we are back to do the cooler Dokkan event. I tried to do this already and it didn't turn out the greatest, so we're going to do an attempt number 2, and this is going to be the one that goes up regardless of whatever. So we're going to be running with strength in this video. Now there is no great approach to mono teams for this video. I was actually going to go originally with a hybrid team, but personally my best run was with my strength team, so I'm going to use that because I've been telling you guys just to use your best teams or use your teams that you can run the greatest with the greatest synergy. This is my team that I can run with the greatest synergy. All of these cards really link together well for the most part. The Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku, not as much, and the Trunks and the Gogeta have problems. But anyway, outside of that, most of these cards share good links with each other, and that's why I ultimately picked that. You're also going to have type advantage over the final phase of the fight against the final form cooler that you can pull in the event, or in the banner, excuse me. So this event is called the Ultimate Transformation. You can awaken through 3 different cooler cards, as well as the SR Salsa turns into an SSR. So obviously you can awaken the physical one. Mine's already done. I was actually going to do it in the last video, but I ended up jumping the gun on it a little bit. The agility one from Baba's shop also Dokkan Awakens, as well as the old school tech one. Those are both really good Dokkan Awakens, so you're going to want to hold on to those cards, especially for a free unit, technically, like that Baba's shop cooler is. And then Salsa becomes a pretty decent to okay support unit. I'm probably going to hold on to him in case I ever decide to run Extreme AGL, which more than likely won't happen, but we'll see. Because he gives +2 key and 20% attack and defense passively to AGL and tech types. So, worth holding on to if you're in need of some support units. So this event, forgot to turn on Do Not Disturb. So this event, you cannot take Senzu Beans. What does this mean? You're only going to have 1 healing item. So, my normal setup is I put Senzu Dende, Ghost Usher, and King Yama. I don't use Whis because I like to say those raw structure don't have very many. I'm rotating in a Baba. Why? Because during the agility phase, you're going to want as many items as you can or during the physical phase if you decide to take an intelligence team. Because this is totally doable with an intelligence team. I have done it before. I just showed them off in a recent video though, so I don't want to, or the Gogeta event, so I don't want to do it again, if that makes any sense. I want to actually show some diversity of my teams. So during the whatever phase that your type is going to be weak to, if your type is weak to any phase at all, say you're taking a tech team, you're going to be weak to the second phase. I'll go over that as we go through the fight, but you're going to want Babas in case you use a Ghost Usher, because you can't use Ghost Ushers in consecutive turns. So that's why I decided to go with that. I think this is the best setup personally. If you feel more comfortable taking Whis instead of King Yama, go for it. I don't have the inventories to do that. So I'll break down the team really quick. My Super Saiyan 4 Goku is 2 dupes, 9, 17 split. I gave him recovery and super attack bonuses. Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku's plus 1300 super attack 5. Gogeta 100%. Trunks level 20 crits, and not a whole lot else in the dupe system. I've been working on him a little bit since I finished my Super Saiyan 4 Goku 2 paths done. Pikkon just Dokkan Awakened, haven't used him a whole lot yet. Solid defensive unit. He lowers attack greatly with his super attack and passively lowers enemy defense, so your units are just going to hit harder. And then this guy's here for support as well, so he gives attack and defense plus 25%. So Trunks, and Pikkon are going to be floating. We're going to keep a Goku with a Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku and a Goku with a Gogeta. In fairness to this, because some people I know don't have the proper way to run these teams, but say you have an Omega Shenron and you still want to run strength, that is totally a good option. In the fairness of doing so, I ran a normal plus 2000 Super Saiyan 4 Goku as my friend, because I figured it would be a little too easy just to run 2 Super Saiyan 4 Gokus that were really good in the dupe system, and it actually made like my first run at making this video way too perfect because I used a Rainbow Star one. So in the interest of fairness to people out there who can't necessarily run these teams in the most optimal way, we'll just do that for now. It's better to have 2 Super Saiyan 4 Gokus though, because I'm showing you guys how you can beat the event with the best versions of these teams, or at least the best versions of these teams I can muster up. So let's hop into this fight. I think I've explained everything that needs to be thought of going into this preliminarily. Now, the problem with this event in particular is that you're going to have a big problem getting key, because usually it's either all clustered up in this area right here that I'm about to go into on the map, or it's spread out and in stupid, you get really unlucky with the numbers, or it's all at the end right here. So and there's not a whole lot of it. Usually there's there's 3 like there is right now. I've seen up to 5, never more than 5 though. So this is going to be an event where you're really relying on the linking and things like that. Fortunately, if you have a good enough team, linking shouldn't be the biggest concern for you. There are still teams that do have key problems despite having good units that link together very well. The new Strength Ultimate Gohan team is a very good example of that. If you are running that in Japan, you're going to have key problems. So let's see what our rotations look like. Alright, this actually looks really solid, so let's keep it like this. The first thing you're going to want to do when you come into this is you are going to want to wipe out Salza. Now Salza is not or Thouser, the agility unit right here that is targeted. The reason you're going to want to target Salza is because he is an agility type, so despite the fact that he shouldn't really be hitting you very hard, if you are running a strength team, then you are going to really be hit hard. Also, out of the 3 cards, this is the only one that really does any damage. Dure and Naze, Dure being, I believe, the physical one, and Naze being the tech one. Can barely see, so bear with me here. Those are the 2 that you're not going to want to worry about as much. They don't hit as hard as the Salza does, and if you're running strength, you're not going to be at a type disadvantage. This is not a Dokkan event guide just for running strength, but I am going to explain it going forward with the team that I am running. All of my normal principles go. You pretty much should just bring the best team that you can run and try to implement the strategy as I explained. And I accidentally targeted the tech guy on accident, so I'm already breaking my own rules. So this is a what not to do, because I was showing you guys what to do for the tutorial, and that was actually 17k damage that we just took right there. So this would have been a nice attack to get off on Nate, or on Salza. I think fortunately enough, nope, we are not going to have enough to wipe out Trunks. So see, you're going to get hit for about 18,000 on a normal attack by that Salza. A normal attack if you were running a strength team. So keep that in mind. And here, you can see, super attack hit me for 67k. And this is just the first phase still. So, keep that in mind as you are going through this event. So we should get a decent health recovery here though. Yeah, fortunately the Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku got a couple key. He's the real unit that lacks for key in this, but he doesn't do anything like special with his super or anything, so it's not like the biggest deal. And they're gonna get a crit right there, and this should wipe him out. That's gonna just barely live through that. He has about 600,000 health. I don't exactly remember how much all the units have, but I remember that guy specifically has 600,000 health because it was in something that I read at one point about this event. Alright, so that finishes the first event, or the first phase against the henchmen. Now you're going to move on to the second phase, which is going to be 2 different types still. It's going to be Agility, Salza, and Intelligence Coora. As before, you're going to want to wipe out Salza. Why? Salza has relatively little health. On top of that, he's still an agility type, and you're still just going to want to do it. So go ahead and do that. We're going to keep Trunks on rotation again, and then Pikkon can actually get your super, because I want you to lower the attack of the cooler that'll be left, so that he doesn't hit me so hard if he decides to super you, because you're going to be in that last time. You're a decent defensive unit though, so if you're running strength, the big thing you're going to want to do is always make sure that Super Saiyan 4 Goku gets his super attack. Now that should be obvious, but there's actually a bigger reason to it than just the normal Super Saiyan 4 Goku hits extremely hard, and so you're going to want to get him his super attacks anyway. The stacking update is now live in global, so that every time Goku supers, he gets an extra 30% defense, and it stays from round to round. So this is actually a good and bad thing right here. So this is going to prevent us from losing any more health. We are already at about half health. But unfortunately, two things about this is might screw up rotations, and we're losing link skills, so the probability of us getting a super attack during this golden great ape is very unlikely. However, if you are running this team, this is a situation you might run into, so this is just how to handle it. You're pretty much just going to want to try to group key spheres in such an effective way that you can get higher attack keys. Or let me rephrase that. You're going to want to try to get grouped key spheres together so that you can get a super. However, your normal attacks are still going to do a whole lot of damage. So that's why you're not going to want to necessarily just like give you 4 key, give 5, then give 3. You're going to want to try to group them together so you can just get a group of 5 or 6 and do one attack and wipe it all out at once. But it's not really a big deal. If you turn into a golden great ape, it's pretty easy to get around. And we're doing okay so far. Our rotations are still a little bit off, so there is that. Now, currently, Super Saiyan 4 Goku has 28,791 defense. However, he's going to super again. That's going to go up by 30%, which means that is going to be roughly another 3,000. So he'll still be at 30,000, but he can dodge. So we're actually going to put him in the blocker spot. What we are going to do here is we're going to use a King Yama because I want to reduce that damage, but I'm not going to heal because I know my healing items are sparse. So I want to try to save healing for another turn if I can to keep the bank replenished. So I want to say that if you use a Yama or a Whis here, the most damage you are going to take is about 50,000 on a super attack. So I should still be in relatively good shape. We will give you that. And you know, this one red one over here, we have a little bit of health recovery off of that too. And see, 83 on a normal attack. So this is the third phase agility cooler. This is going to be the one that actually, ooh, with the crit. This is going to be the one that might actually give you an issue. This phase has 5 health bars. That is the most of any second to final phase boss, I believe. And there we go, 44k with the King Yama active. Fortunately, our tanking is still very solid for having the type disadvantage. So yeah, this cooler has 5 health bars. I believe that is the most in the game out of any unit. See, this did screw up our rotations really bad. That is not good. Alright, so I think now is the time that we are going to heal. And we actually didn't have to use very many items this run. That Gogeta super really bailed us out, honestly. And see, this Goku's got 44k defense. So that's actually really good because of the buff from this Trunks right here, Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. So I believe that's the most out of any non-final phase boss. So that's why this fight is this boss fight is essentially the last 2 phases, because there's another phase after this where you have to fight Final Form Cooler. The last 2 phases are basically just one big boss that happens to change phases halfway through. 11 health bars total, 5 here and then 6 in the next phase. So again, you just want to super with Goku, tank with Goku as much as you can, just because his defense is going to be incredibly high off of the stacking. And well, it's 11k, that's not the greatest. It's actually worse than the last time, but this should kill him right here. There you go. This is why Strength is probably actually the best team for this event. You can still get through the agility phase really easily. Even without a crit, you're still going to do really good with your top end units. And here you go. This is the final phase, and this should be a walk in the park if you got this far. Now, if you're using an intelligence team, this is going to be the phase that is going to give you the most difficulty. The advice I'll give an offer for that is that if you're running an intelligence team, you're going to want to run Janemba. If you don't run Janemba, you're kind of boned, because there's a lot of instances during this final phase where Cooler is going to group lots of attacks in one spot, and you're going to want to be able to tank with at least one unit at all times. Now, unfortunately, you can only run one Janemba in a deck unless you use it as friendly, but that would be really irresponsible. So, here's what we will do for this phase. And again, I'm just putting Goku in as many situations to tank as we can. And this is actually a really good run to show off, because it's kind of in between where it's not a perfect run, but there's also been plenty of things that have gone wrong. We went Golden Great Ape and it screwed up our rotations. And see, Goku still hitting hard. We went Golden Great Ape and it screwed up our rotations, but we also didn't really need to use a whole lot of items, and we got through the agility phase pretty swiftly. So there you go. That's why to take Strength Team, because you can just plow through this last phase, and you're not really going to have a problem with any other phases as well. But like I said, normal protocol in most cases is just to take your strongest team and take items and put yourself in a situation where you're not going to be completely open to dying. If Cooler is attacking 4 times and you have half health, heal. or pop a Ghost Usher, or do whatever. Things I've told you guys to do in the past, just keep doing those. It's not really a whole lot of an event guide, but this is a really straightforward event. Cooler doesn't hit you all that hard. Final Phase Cooler can hit you for about 100k if you don't have the greatest blocking in place, but for the most part, you're going to be pretty set going through this event. It should be pretty quickly, should go swift. You shouldn't have a whole lot of times where you're getting screwed up. Other than Salza being annoying, this is really super straightforward. So, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy. Let me know what you think of this event down below. Was it easy for you? Was it hard? Did you have something that helped you out specifically that I didn't discuss in this video? Let me know down below. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy. See you next time for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle.